So if you're a team that's out of it with a wide receiver to trade, you're in luck, right? I mean, now that the Texans have lost Stephon Diggs, we know Deontay Johnson just went to Baltimore. Who's in the market and who's available, Albert?
So, teams have made calls on receivers. I think the Texans would be open to something. I don't know that they're going to go overboard for it because of what they have. They were pretty good offense last year without Diggs. Not to say having Diggs didn't help them. It did.
Right.
But Nico Collins that's not a season-ending injury. He'll be back eventually. And you have Tank Dell, who's a really promising second-year player. Robert Woods has a ton of experience. John Mechie was highly drafted. They have Xavier Hutchinson there too. So it's not like they don't have answers in the passing game, but would they be open to it? Sure. Pittsburgh, I think, would be another team that you would look at and say, okay, they were in the Ayuk market. Maybe they would be in the market for one too. And as for the names that are out there, I'd say take a look at Carolina. I know they just moved Deontay Johnson. Would they be willing to move an Adam Thielen? If Thielen shows a desire to go play for a contender at this stage of his career, he's not what he was, but maybe they'd be one team that would be willing to move a receiver. The Patriots have gotten calls on their receivers, and while they're not loaded at that position, maybe somebody like KJ Osborne, who was the third receiver in Minnesota with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison the last couple of years, maybe he would make sense for somebody. So there are some names out there. I don't know that there's a superstar out there, but the Texans would look at it. The Steelers, I think, would be a team that would definitely kind of sniff around at what's out there. And then maybe a third team would be the Bucs with the injuries to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
Yeah, what is Mike Williams available from the Jets?
Yeah, he would be another one. So yeah, what's interesting about him though, I can give you this little nugget on him. The Raiders tried to get the Jets to throw him in the trade for Devontae Adams, and the Jets wouldn't do it. Now maybe their stance on that has changed, but I know that won't happen for free, if that makes sense.
Well, sure. That said, we might see on Thursday night on your broadcast you're a part of, the Jets fall to 2-7. And then that's truly what would say all she wrote at that point in time. I mean, because they'd have to win 8 in a row to get to that magic 10-win mark that it does appear you're going to have. I mean, maybe 9, but you already have enough losses to teams that you'd have to leapfrog over to get that 7th and final playoff spot. Plus, there's the issue of having the ability to actually rip off those many wins when you can't even win a game since week 3. That's if they lose tomorrow night. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.